Welcome back. This is Spring with SpringsSoulfulHome, and today's video is all about some DIY bridal shower ideas such as party favors, table arrangements, and my very first time putting together a charcuterie board. So I hope that you enjoy all of these ideas that I'm sharing with you today as I prepared for my daughter's bridal shower. So I'm starting off these DIY bridal shower gifts by making some bath salts. I bought these really cute bottles from Hobby Lobby, and they were ranging in cost from $1.99 to $2.29 each bottle. I did buy them at 50% off. I just thought these were a really cute idea to add in some bath salts, and being that they also had a little cork, I just thought they would look really cute, and some colorful bath salts would just make a really great party favor for everyone coming and supporting our daughter. Now for the bath salts, I am using some coconut essential oils. My daughter does love coconut scents and tropical scents, so I thought that would be a great idea. I did find all of these ingredients at Hobby Lobby. I also decided to use some dried flowers. My daughter did say she wanted some dried rose petals. I also had some dried chamomile and some dried lavender. So I thought I would make some bath salts with just rose petals, and then also some adding in all the dried flowers as they look so beautiful together. And then some of the ingredients are also a coarse Himalayan pink salt. You will need the coarse one, not the fine Himalayan salt. And then I'm using some coconut milk powder. This is good for moisturizing in the skin. I did buy this from our Sprouts, which is a natural grocery store. And I'm also using Epsom salt. And those are all the ingredients that you will need to make these bath salts. Now the ingredients for the bath salts calls for 1 cup of Himalayan salt, half a cup of Epsom salt, half a cup of the coconut milk powder, and 4 to 5 teaspoons of your dried flowers. You can add as much or as little as you want of the dried flowers, and 10 to 20 drops of the essential oils. Now I did want to add in a little bit more of the Himalayan salt, so I did add a little bit more of that and also a little bit more of the Epsom salt. So you can adjust this recipe according to your needs or to your preference, but once I added everything in, I did just mix it up really good. The coconut milk powder does tend to kind of clump a little bit, so I wanted to get out as many clumps as possible. And then once I was all done mixing everything up, I used a kitchen funnel that I use for my cooking, and I didn't mind using this because these are all natural ingredients. So I did place a piece of parchment paper down on the bottom. Then that way if I spilled any ingredients on the counter, I can just put them back into the bowl. But as I mentioned, I am using my kitchen funnel just because the opening of these bottles is quite small. It is a little bit tedious. I had to use a toothpick occasionally just to kind of like poke down any dried flowers in there. But I did leave a little bit of room up at the top just so that way I can top off the ingredients with some dried flowers, and it looked absolutely beautiful. These were a big hit and the smell was amazing. So the next DIY I'm doing is painting these glass vases. I bought them from the secondhand store. They were really inexpensive and I really love the shape and texture to them. I'm also using paint and baking soda. Now using the baking soda, it gives a grainy or a textured look. I used about half the bottle of paint and about 3 spoons of baking soda. You do want to mix the baking soda in very well. Now the more baking soda you use, the more of a textured look that you'll achieve. Now I gave these vases about 3 coats, letting the vases dry completely between each coat. If you don't, it kind of like scrapes the paint off of the vase. But I chose this color also because I just wanted it to look very natural, very earthy, kind of giving that little boho vibe that my daughter is going for her wedding. So I just wanted the bridal shower to kind of be a reflection of what she'll be decorating for at the wedding. Now for these vases, I did paint the inside of the vase a little bit just because I wasn't sure how much you'd be able to see inside. So I didn't want that to just totally, be able to see just the glass part. Now for this, you can choose however much baking soda or however much paint that you want. This is really a neat project that you can just kind of experiment with. As I mentioned, adding more or less of paint or baking soda just to get that look that you want to achieve for your project. I want to take the time to welcome you if this is your first time that you are watching one of my videos. My name is Spring with SpringsSoulfulHome, and I absolutely love making DIY party videos. I also make videos based on homemaking, DIY home decor, holiday decor, cook and clean. So if you enjoy watching those type of videos, I would love if you would subscribe and join my YouTube community. Be sure to let me know where you're from down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing more of you. And here is an overview of what the vases look like after the first coat of paint. All right, now on to the next DIY, which is my absolute favorite. I'm using paint to dye these flowers. Now I bought these flowers at 50% off at Hobby Lobby, and the paint as well. It was on sale, and I'm using acrylic paint in the color Georgia Clay, which is pictured. The other colors I used are wine, plaid, and metallic gold. Now for the project, you'll use paint, water, and a bit of softener. Now the more paint you use than water, it will give you a darker color, and the more water you use than paint, it will give you a softer color. Then you'll want to add in a bit of softener to help soften the petals so you can shape the petals once you're all done dipping your flowers. Now you'll want to be sure to shake off the excess and repeat this process 1 to 2 times, mixing the paint in between each time, and that way you won't have any excess paint dripping off of your flowers. Now I initially started to use this foam that you can see here to stand up the flowers, but the stems were too long, so they were kind of bending over, so I just grabbed a vase that we had in the house just to stand up the flowers so they can dry. These are the dried flowers that I'll be using to put together the table arrangements. I thought they went beautifully with the boho vibe, and the colors of paint that I used to paint the rest of the flowers are a Georgia clay, wine, plaid, and metallic gold. And some of the pampas grass that I had bought, it had a purple tint to it. That eventually did fade once I let it set out for a little bit, but I am just starting to arrange these the glass vases that are going to be the table arrangements. There was no rhyme or reason to how I did it. I just put this together, you know, turning them around, making sure everything looked even, and really I love the way this came out. At first I was kind of unsure with all the different colors that I chose to paint the flowers in, or to dip the flowers in the paint, but they look so beautiful, and I think I definitely did a great job achieving this boho look for the table centerpieces. favor, I'm making chocolate lips. I'm using pink chocolate, candy sticks, treat bags, and ties. I also bought these candy molds that are in the shape of lips at Hobby Lobby. I again bought them when they were 50% off, so I was able to buy 2 of them just to kind of make a little bit more of these so I can get these done in a quicker time. Now for the chocolate, I do melt it in a plastic container at 30-second intervals in my microwave, stirring the chocolate each and every time until it's all melted. Don't overheat or you will burn your chocolate. Now once the chocolate has set for just maybe a minute or 2, I then pour it into my into my Wilton plastic candy bag. I then cut a small opening at the bottom just so that way I can squeeze enough chocolate into the candy mold. I don't want that opening to be too big, then too much chocolate is going to come out. Now I started off by making these by first putting the little candy sticks in there first. Then you want to fill up the whole mold and kind of shake it up against your countertop as you see me doing here, just so that way the chocolate can all smooth out. And it does take a couple of times to do this. Once you get the hang of it, it's all downhill from there. So once I'm all done filling both molds, I do put in the freezer for about 5 minutes, and then once they're all set, I get a piece of parchment paper, turn them upside down. Don't press them out. All you have to do is just gently tap the molds upside down on your countertop and they will pop out gently that way, because if you push it down, you do risk breaking your chocolate treat. So that's just that's the way I do it, and I find it works perfectly fine. Once the chocolate lips were all cooled down, I started to put them in the little treat bags. As you can see, I have them all laid out there. While I was doing this, I remembered that I forgot to spray them with some gold luster dust. I bought that from Walmart. The reason I was spraying the gold luster dust on them is because one of the things that my daughter has always enjoyed doing, she's enjoyed buying like sparkly lip gloss, and so these party favors were just kind of like in memory of her, like just things that she enjoyed doing, like pink lip gloss, and she loves taking baths, so that was the reason I made the bath salts as well. I also did a popcorn favor because she loves popcorn. But anyway, back to the candy favors. I'm just showing you here what the gold luster dust does. You don't want to spray it really close or it's just going to be like puffs of like little gold sparkly stuff, so you want to spray it away from there a little bit. Let that sit on there for just a bit, and then go ahead and put them in your treat bags and get them all prepared to hand out to your guests. Right, so now on to the last thing that I'm preparing for the party, and it is the meats for the charcuterie board. Now, I did look up quite a few different ways how to arrange the meats. Now, what I'm attempting to do here, it's called like a salami river. Now, for these, you'll want to get the salami, fold it in half, then again, you want to like put it onto a toothpick kind of loosely, and then you just kind of like put them all together so it looks like a little river. Now, this was my very first time putting together a large charcuterie board, so it didn't come out exactly how I wanted it, but I did achieve what I did, what was needed for the party. Now, by this time it was already so late and I rushed through, but this one I'm making the little pepperoni rose flower for the charcuterie board. Now for these, I couldn't find a very narrow glass. I just used one of these that I had on hand. Now the more meat or the more pepperoni you put on there, the bigger your flower is going to be, the smaller the center of the rose will be. But we did make, I think, like 2 or 3 of these. My daughter helped me with some of these. Now at this point I had stopped recording. My daughter's just recording an overview of what this looked like. I had baby pickles, cheese cubes, raspberries, strawberries, hummus, and it all came out great. I really enjoyed it, but it was just so rushed. Now I'm moving on to the table centerpieces, the way everything looked, the way I put together the bath salts. I thought these came out so awesome. They were a big hit. And for the popcorn, I just put popcorn in cute little bags. We made a label saying love is popping and to kiss the miss goodbye, as she will be a Miss MRS. And we just set those up for all the party favors. And the candles, I did buy those from Hobby Lobby. And my cake table, I did make that cake and the frosting. I will put that recipe down in my description box. I just ran so short on time. I did not have time to film everything, but I absolutely love this. I hope this gave you so many ideas. And again, remember, whatever you imagine to make your party, you can definitely do it. Don't ever be intimidated. But I hope you enjoy this. I hope it gave you so much inspiration, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for your support. You all have a wonderfully blessed day. Bye-bye, friends.